Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Series 4, Episode 17 of the Orta Know Better podcast. My name's Luke, and tonight I'm joined by the Pod Dodger and the Pod Todger. How are we doing, Jay and Carl? Both all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm all right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks ever so much for joining me on probably what is the coldest Tuesday of the year so far. I think we'd all agree.
Amen to that.
Amen. But yeah, you might notice that you can't see our faces. That's purposeful, and it's simply because we'd like to pay a short tribute to the two gentlemen in the overlay in the picture tonight. So yeah, we're going to run a bit of an intro in a minute or two, and we will get into it when I can find the bloody video.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds eating bastard.
Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No.
He's a utensil player a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah, doing
Full of
okay.
beans on the. It's the last Tuesday. No, it's not the last Tuesday before Christmas. It's the last Tuesday in November.
It is.
It's the last podcast we'll be doing this year in November on a Tuesday.
There you go. You're recovered nicely.
Somewhere. But yeah, obviously loads and loads to talk about. I just want to start quickly and just put a little word out and pay a little bit of a tribute to Eltel, who was obviously our manager for a short while before we get into anything. Thoughts on his time at Leeds, Carl?
It was a bit turbulent. I think he came in thinking he'd have the nucleus of a good squad, and then Woodgate got sold, and then a few more got sold, and I think he did what he could with what he had. I think he still had a good team, but when a team has been that battered for two seasons or whatever the case was, when he came in, it's a little bit hard to kind of rally the troops, I guess, you know. But overall, I quite liked him in charge. When he was announced, I was quite excited for him, really, to be fair. It's Terry Venables at the time. He was one of those players or managers where you're like, geez, yeah, all the top clubs seem to hire him. So surely this is going to go all right. And
Well, I think he'd only been here a week or two, and we sold Rio to Scum, didn't we? So that was like he'd only been here, literally just got through the door. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, he threatened to leave if we sold Woodgate and Ridsdale back down. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure somebody in the comments will know a little bit more about that than I do, but it was from memory, and then we ended up selling Woodgate anyway to Newcastle. So I don't think it was in that window though, but yeah, mixed reviews on his time. I think we probably all had high expectations with Terry Venables joining, and obviously the team that he did actually inherit wasn't too bad. It was just the course that we were on. So yeah, rest in peace, Terry Venables from us all. Right then, on a less somber note, I suppose it could still be relatively somber. We'll have a bit of a chat about Friday night. Did you two do Brad and Coke, or was it the other two?
No, it was me and Jay.
No, it was us.
Oh, it was you two. Okay, so in which
what
case,
did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was you two because I watched it. But I just get my mind just goes all over the shop. But I went on Joe's and did the final words, so I've had my say on it. But I didn't think it was that bad. Like I think there was things missing, and I think there was things we could have done better. But we were never really out of control in that game until the calamity and the mistakes that we made leading to their goal, which was the only time they really threatened. Actually, that's not the only time they threatened because Cooper had to clear one off the line, didn't he? But yeah, we weren't at the races, and look, it's not an easy place to go, the New York ground or New York Stadium or whatever they call it, and that's quite apparent. Ipswich failed to win there, Saints failed to win there, And we it's not a nice place to go, and on a Friday night as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit detrimental to us having it on Friday night, especially with 3 of our starters having been playing international games prior to that, only on, was it Tuesday or something like that, So, look, the main thing is Fark didn't really kick up a stink about when the game was on, so he clearly had confidence in the players coming back from international duty and the players within the squad. So, if he felt hard done by, I'm sure he would have said it. But he seems and definitely comes across as one of those managers who's not really going to sit there and sulk about when a game is played, depending on when his international players are coming back, And he didn't really kick up a stink about Rotherham coming back kind of a bit crocked early. I think it was a good 40 minutes where we probably should have been absolutely out of sight. But, it's, yeah.
It'll be a completely different game at Ellen Road. We know that, don't we? It's they're a club that like to get up and spoil and just, make it difficult. They're an old school, old school side. And yeah, pretty much it did what we expected. The grass wasn't great. The pitch, it was just it felt like almost a cup game. Could it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It did have that kind of chaotic feel about it in spots, like especially in the second half. I thought, their goal kind of epitomized what the game was like overall, in a sense, where it was just messy. No control over large parts of the play in the second half. Just kind of, it seemed like we were going through the motions to get to a certain point in the game where we then came to life. It was like the last 10 minutes we sort of went, whoa, right, okay, we need a goal here. And then we just burst into life. And it was like, why not do that for the previous 35 minutes? It's...
It could have been. I mean, it could have quite easily been 3 or 4-0 at half time, couldn't it, Jay?
Easily,
It could, yeah, and it should have been, really. And that's one of our issues at the moment. We don't seem to be putting chances away enough. It's really frustrating. It's like that lucky goal that they got shouldn't have even really mattered in the grand scheme of things. And it's just another example where we seem to think, we're cruising here, and take our foot off the gas. And that's really worrying.
No, I think it's a fair point. I mean, you look at Plymouth. We went 2-0 up in that game and sat back. Even go as far as say, I know we were 4-0 up at this stage, but even Huddersfield in the second half when we came out a bit lapse and a bit, But I think there's a mix, and we spoke about this on the final word. I think there's a mixture of feelings and a mixture of instructions. So I have a feeling Farker told them to take the foot off the gas against Huddersfield. Don't get injured. Don't do anything daft. Get through, go through the motions, and let's bring the points home. And
you can understand that for that game.
Yeah, but now that's very easy to be misinterpreted, I suppose, when you go up in games. So is he? And I think this is up to him to get the point across to the team that actually, when you go 1 or 2-0 up, I'm not telling you to take the foot off the gas. 4-0 at home to Huddersfield is a different kettle of fish to going 2-0 up and 1-0 up away from home. But I suppose that's very difficult to manage, especially with such a young playing squad as well. They're still learning, the majority of them. They're not at their peak, and ultimately, if they've been told in one game to take your foot off the gas when you're winning, it's very hard to then forget that. And habits are formed. But I don't think we can blame Fark too much for it. I think the players have to take a lot of the flack from Friday night. I just felt they looked a little bit laboured, which is fair enough. They played a lot of games. Archie Gray, bless him, his legs have done some serious miles this season so far.
They have, haven't they?
But yeah, all in all, I don't think it was a bad point, and especially when you look at Ipswich getting beaten as well, it's still a point closer to them. But it could have been 3.
It's hard to take. I mean, there's a comment from Andy Aylor here, and he says, typical shitty championship game. We're going to have a few this season. That's absolutely true, and there's going to be more games like that. problem for us is because we had that kind of first month that's a write-off. So these games hurt us more than they would do if we'd not had a month where we lost games that we shouldn't have because of the turmoil. And so it means that we all panic a bit more than we would. We're all a bit more, oh shit, more points dropped, you know. We'd probably not be so worried about it had we not lost a couple of those earlier ones if we'd had a settled team to start the season, you know. We'd just be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Now we're a bit like, oh shit, we've done it again. We've dropped points again from a game that we should have won. And, you know, we can't be looking any further than playoffs for me when we're doing stuff like this quite regularly.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. No, I'm not kidding at all. If we're going to keep doing this, then we're going to struggle to get any higher than third place. If we can stamp this out, then, you know, it's not over at this point by any means. But
we know what the championship's like, Jay. I mean, look at Leicester. They got beat by us and then got beat by, who was it the week after?
Middlesbrough
the week after, and then
they did, yeah.
And then you look at Ipswich. They got beat by West Brom the other night, and they went 2 down to Rotherham, and probably should have lost and managed to get a point. And then they went 2 down to Birmingham as well, and probably should have lost.
What I'm saying is, if they're so far ahead that if we keep throwing points away when we're in positions where we should be getting all 3, then it's going to cost us, and I don't see us catching them. If we can stamp that out, then you know, sky's the limit. But if we can't,
I would have agreed with you, Jay. Had we not beaten them both, I think I would probably have agreed with you because we'd have been further away and there'd have been a sort of daylight between. But 7 points is nothing over however many games we got left. What is it? 30 games left or something? 28 games left or something?
But you can't make that up if you're throwing points away. That's what I'm saying.
But the other thing,
but we have, Jay. We made a point up.
Well, we did, yeah, but we're still 7 behind, so you can't keep hoping that they're going to slip. We have to do our jobs.
See, I think I know what you're both saying, and I think I looked at the Rotherham game like I looked at the Plymouth game. I was like, it's not going to be an easy game. I came on here and I was saying that, you know, Plymouth they can score goals, and we, you know, you even flashed it up on there, Jay. Look, they scored average maybe 2 goals per game for maybe 12 games or something, and of those games they won and drew quite a few. But Rotherham haven't lost at home. They've only lost at home twice all season, and that's where they're picking up most of their points. So you have to look at it, I think, from a perspective that Ipswich went there expecting to beat Rotherham. I went into that game thinking this is going to be a bit of a banana skin, but I think we have enough in us to overcome it like we did Plymouth. But then when it happens that we don't do it, I don't think it's anything to freak out about. I think we should always just be looking at second place. And I think people are far too fixated on the top 2 being the top 2 when Leicester are just that little bit further ahead. And I think if we can concentrate on catching second place and then set our sights on first. But we also have to remember that this team was in turmoil up until the end of August. So you've got August, September, October. We're just at the end of November. That's 3 months, like, where he didn't really know what he was going to be starting with. And to think we're in the position we're in, I think it's a very, very strong position. I think it shows that we've got great character within our squad to be able to push on and do that kind of you know, to push that kind of play and to be able to have the players that look like they know what they're doing when they didn't even know who'd be playing alongside them at the end of August, you know, that kind of way. So I get what you're both saying. I do feel that those kind of games, they're the ones where Ipswich are slipping up as well. It's not just us.
They are now, yeah.
Yeah, so like...
And look, Stoke result aside, we are still the form team over the last 8 games in the league. We're top of the form table over 8 games. But look, it's a draw. Like, do you know what I mean? We'll see a reaction. We will see a reaction.
We have done every time. Every time that's happened.
Every time
we've seen a massive reaction.
I don't think
boom, done. Stoke, the same thing. You know?
I didn't feel as down as a lot of people did, and I know social media is the worst place to ever go after a disappointing result. So I would say, it is the worst place to go. And you read some of the things, man. Our fan base is so bloody bipolar. It's unbelievable. Some of the things you read,
Yeah.
like honestly, the same people writing this, like writing one week that Farker is God to the next week saying he should be sacked. You know,
I know.
it's painful. It is painful. I'm not worried, and even that is going to happen more than once this season, where we're going to drop points from a team we expect to beat, and simple as that. And the sooner we accept that, because we've been in the Championship, we know what it's about, and the top teams don't win every game. If you won every game, it'd be it'd be quite straightforward. So yeah, I just think yes, I just think sorry, my computer just looked like it was going to start. Like I was getting hacked by somebody, you know. When
your audio cut for like a half second and then came straight back. Yeah,
bit weird. But yeah, I'm positive. I still saw enough in that game to to identify and to warrant us still being well in that title, in the hunt for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Fark even said it, like Rutter was playing at what, 85, 90%. He wasn't even fully fit and he still started him. Like, I'm not sure what that says about poor old Paddy, like, but when you look at the fact that Rutter wasn't even, I don't think he had by any way close to his best game for us. I don't think I think that may have been one of his worst games if you kind of look after the through ball for Somerville. What else did he really do? Like, you know, so
yeah,
these are factors we have to take into account. And like Luke said there, he's not worried. I'm not worried at all. I genuinely am. Like, I don't think that's going to be the start of any kind of serious blip. Like, we've got Swansea at home and we've got bleeding Coventry at home, or not Coventry, Middlesbrough on Saturday.
Win those two, it's all forgotten about.
Yeah, they're two winnable games. Like, I wouldn't be as cocky or confident going into them as I probably would have been previous games, perhaps like Sheffield Wednesday or something like that. But I still think they're two very winnable games for us, especially at home.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Let's move on to just very quickly. Thank you everybody for wishing me out happy birthday. It is my 21st birthday today, so
cheers, Luke.
Cheers. I haven't even got beer. I forgot to get beer before we started because I was rushing around. I've had kids' parents' evening and whatever going on tonight. So, yeah, I've celebrated like an old bastard and not done anything at all.
That's how
we'll make up for that. We'll make up for that this weekend at the Apollo Junction gig, won't we, boys?
Oh, we will indeed.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
I forgot about that, but yeah.
So did I, yeah. So did I.
So yeah, let's move on quickly. Gilly sent me the predictions over, no change at all, which leaves Bren top on 25, Gilly 20, Smarty 16, Karl and I both on 15, Fans on 9, and Jay still holding us up on 6 at the bottom there. Good job, you got strong legs in it, Jay.
It is, mate. I won it last season. I don't need it.
Hey, you're only as good as this season.
Yeah, you know,
I don't care.
Your crown or your title, Jay, no? You're not into that, boys.
I didn't get any kind of celebration when I won it, so what's the point?
Well, geez,
I was just like brushed under carpet.
I'd make sure I got a celebration if I won it, but I've never been
close. I know, mate, yeah.
I've not been close apart from this season.
I mean, it was kind of your fault. I didn't get a celebration, Luke, so we probably shouldn't go there.
Why?
Because we were going to do the end of season pod, and then you fucking disrupted it all, didn't you? When you said you couldn't be arsed with it and stuff. You know.
But we did try doing it about 3 weeks after the season ended.
Yeah, it's just not the same, is it? It's not the same.
Was that when Gilly came on and slammed his laptop shut and everything?
Yeah.
We can laugh now because we're all over.
We can now, yeah.
We can laugh. Right then, let's move on to the new segment of the week, and the new segment that Smarty introduced, actually, which I quite like.
Yo, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparrowfart.
I love that. Brennan is bit for
Fred is class, man.
That's got a shit tick this week, my old sparrowfart.
He's got such a fucking funny accent there. It's brilliant.
So I'm going to go last this week, and I'm going to let you guys. In fact, I'll start with you, Karl, and I'd like to hear what the biggest shit take you've seen, whether it be online or something related to football that you've seen this week.
Well, I was listening to the radio on the way home, and I never really thought about it before, and I was like, I've watched it a few times, and The presenter basically said he felt that the ref mic'd up where they do VAR decisions and they explain it out. He said it seemed very scripted, and I kind of got me thinking. It was like it is very scripted, and it is a fucking shit take to put something like that on the TV when we can all see with our own eyes that it's the worst shit decision on the planet. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to watch it anymore. Fuck it. So yeah, that's my shit take of the week.
Just on that, Carl, like I've noticed that they've only actually released this audio when it suits them as well. I don't know if anyone else has noticed. They don't do it every week, do they?
They told us they were going to release them all, didn't they?
Yeah. And that's why it seems very staged, because they're not actually releasing the stuff that people want to see and people want to talk about and see broken down into the small little bits. Like, but it's pure shite. Like, there's absolutely no need for it. And that probably is a shit take of the week whenever they do it.
Nah, I don't think it's a great take. Jay, have you got anything for us this week? I know you don't like to be pushed for something that you don't like to do, but let's just see if you've got anything planned.
I don't mind doing it, mate. I need a bit more notice, really. It's just I don't.
You've
really
had a week. We did it last week, Jay. So you've had a week.
Yeah, I know. I thought it were going to be the host who picked a shit take, and we talked about it. And it
might end up like that, Jay. We do what the fuck we like on here.
We do, to be fair.
Pod, like, you know what I mean?
I don't really have a shit take as in an opinion off Twitter, which I think this is what this is meant to be. But I've got the thing Gilly mentioned in our chat about the IFAB agreeing in principle to testing 10-minute sin bins, cynical fouls in elite competitions. And I can't get my head around that. I mean, it's just can you imagine the ramifications if a team loses out a Champions League place because someone got incorrectly sin binned, or players who don't want to be at a club, got a bad attitude, they just commit a foul and get 10 minutes rest. There'll be more diving because people try to get other players sin binned. What happens if you get to a point where you get like 3-4 players sin binned? Does the game get called off?
So I think the sin binning is more for the surrounding of the referee and dissent.
It says cynical fouls on the press release. Yeah.
Oh fuck!
So I only read. I have to admit, Jay, I only read the opening line or two, and it was around only the captain approaching the referee.
Yeah.
Which led, I suppose, led me to assume that it was for surrounding and asking for bookings and that sort of thing.
I'd be all right with that. It works in rugby.
Yeah, man. Look,
that might come up like rugby, so we can hear them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about a sin bin in football. I don't, because you in rugby it's quite easy to shift your positioning and who plays where. It's quite easy, and players can almost play anywhere. But if your goalkeeper gets sin bin, for instance, it's just very, very tough. I don't know. I just don't know how it'll work, and I don't understand why they've decided to introduce it. I mean, is it starting now? Is it with immediate
as early as next season? They're looking at.
Right, okay. So they're not introducing it now. So
what's that? Yeah,
they'll probably do what they did with VAR and make a right big mess of it to start with, which will be a fucking nightmare for everybody. I don't know.
No, I've not read enough to know, but I don't know if it's like. Because they're saying for cynical fouls, does that mean they're going to give you that instead of sending you off for being last man? Does the red card offence then change? Does it become something more? Does it have to be violent conduct, or does it come somewhere in between a yellow card and a sin bin? In which case, do you get a yellow card and a sin bin if it's above a yellow card? It's just fucking stupid.
Do you know what? A small bit is that generally they'd always try it out at a major tournament initially before implementing leagues, and unless they do it at the Euros in the summer, this and then start it straight away, that's a big step in a direction that I don't think a lot of football fans want to go, to be fair.
And even if they do that, it doesn't mean it'll happen. Do you remember how long did the accurate added on time last?
Yeah, but the other thing
got
is
about 3 game weekends of it and then it stopped.
Like, I think what this gives is the referees another out. You know, at the moment,
Another
they've
way
got
of
VAR.
not having to make a decision.
Yeah, and I think if the referees grew some balls and started brandishing yellow cards whenever anyone gave them guff, like, then that would stamp it out straight away anyway.
Yeah, none
because
of this. Oh, I can't send a Liverpool player off.
If he's
Oh,
giving you
Jurgen will
grief,
be upset.
book him, and if he gives you more grief, send him off. The only way you're going to stamp out dissent and all that is to be harsher with the yellow cards, whether the players like it or not. If you stamp it out from the get-go, you're not going to have that issue, and this whole sin bin shit goes away. It's just a way for referees not to take responsibility inside in game situations. Like, every time they go to VAR, they give a penalty. I've never seen one ref grow a pair of balls and go, you know what, Harry Wilson last night, he's dived there, he's looked for that penalty, that's not a penalty, I'm not giving it, don't care, carry on. Not once have I seen that. And this bleeding thing now is going to give them less responsibility.
Yeah, it is. It's
Because
Jamie likes it when you get firm. I think it does things to him. Make of that what you will. The thing for me, I think, around this is the continuation of trying to over police the sport, and it ends up having an adverse effect and ruining the game. VAR has ruined football.
Yeah.
No matter what you say. I mean, I have 3 shit takes this week, and I'm going to go through them all really, really quickly because I have 3 of them. The first one was the VAR from the Wolves game, if anybody saw it. And the referee went into the changing room with the Wolves coach after the game and said, yeah, if it had sent to the screen, I'd have overturned that, first of all. But it didn't get sent to the screen. And then he said, and then the Semedo, I mean, it was just an absolute catalogue of comedy of errors. It was just stupid, absolutely fucking stupid.
Don't expect anything less.
Pretty much all of the decisions went in Fulham's favour, and not one of them in Wolves. And I'm starting to actually see. Do you remember when Wolves were saying
London
it's always
bias.
us? Yeah, the bias and that.
Oh,
and we were like, "Fuck off, Wolves! It's fucking never. It's us more than you," sort of thing. But quite recently, I'm beginning to see that. But yeah, VAR has ruined football. You celebrate a goal, I celebrate a decision, and then you've got to wait 20 seconds or even often up to 2 or 3 minutes for a decision to celebrate it or be let down. It just ruins the continuation of the sport.
That's it.
Same with this. It's a rule that's been brought in to try and support the officials more than anything, to give them more power, but not enough to send them off. Do you know what I mean? It's almost an orange card by the sounds of it. So it's not. It's not
exactly.
Red. Yeah. So yeah, absolute bollocks for me. The second one is actually one that Top Banana's already mentioned. Everton fans moaning about their 10-point deduction. And
we had them last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we've had them on last week.
They're going to be a fixture on here this season.
Yeah, only fair to mention them idiots again. And I know we do have 1 or 2 Everton fans who come and watch this, so it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on the flyovers and the flyers and the guy who ran into London on his day off to shout at a door. But
then
yeah,
that's
the second one.
Bus.
Yeah, God. and then my final one, and I think this is probably the biggest shit take of the week, is having to educate every other fan base on Twitter whose club does not agree to reciprocal pricing, and it's becoming tedious, tiring, and boring. Quite boring because that people don't want to believe something, even if people don't want to believe the truth. It's as simple as that. Like, you can put something in black and white in front of somebody, and their beliefs are so strong about their football club or even religion. I mean, I'm not going to go into religion or politics and stuff, but generally speaking, within social media, that's how it works. People have a belief, and they stick to it, regardless of what facts you put in front of them. So yeah, this reciprocal
Can't speak.
I can't speak. This reciprocal pricing bollocks is just getting on my tits. It started with dog botherers, and Coventry have jumped on the bandwagon now. The thing with Coventry is they have actually gifted their fans back the difference in a gift card. But this is the best part. They can't spend it until after Christmas, and they must spend and they must spend at least £60 to get this additional £7 back
Yeah, they have a
in
minimum.
this club shop,
Oh,
and they
that's
still can't
brilliant.
see they're having the wool pulled over their eyes. They're thick
That is-
bastards.
That is vintage Massimo Cellino behaviour, is that?
That is, isn't it? With the pie and drink
yeah.
tax.
Yeah.
It's like,
And you
having
can
a
see
pint
why
whether you
people
want one or
say
not.
sent to Coventry. Like, why would you get? You know what I mean? It's just absolute berserk, and yet you
hell.
still got people defending them to the very end with sword in their hand and literally saying, "No, this is Leeds' fault." I even had a Chef Wednesday fan pipe up saying it's Leeds' fault. I was like, "Your dearest tickets are £59 a game, and you're bottom of the league.
Are they
Having
actually?
scored." Yeah, having scored
Jesus.
7 or 8 goals all season for 6 points, and you're basically League One and charging them prices.
Yeah.
So yeah, this reciprocal pricing bollocks. Fair play to Preston, though. I will say to anybody from Preston, fair play who have agreed reciprocal pricing and given us 5,500 tickets.
Yeah, that's
But the Boxing Day fixture, is that a Boxing Day fixture?
Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it?
Away, yeah.
So yeah, that's it off my chest.
It's
better
mad,
for that.
isn't it? It's mad. Like, we've offered all clubs this deal. So if there's a club that's not getting a deal, it's because they've not agreed. And I saw that idiot on Twitter who was saying, "Oh, Leeds are not big enough to charge £45. You're not big enough," and they were completely missing the point that we wouldn't be charging £45 if they charged us the same back. They
That's
just
the
don't
thing.
get it. They think it's all right for them to charge us like 35 or 40 quid or whatever, but we can't charge 45 because we're not big enough.
Isn't that thing? Didn't they mention in that Coventry press release where they were saying that Leeds wouldn't do reciprocal pricing, even though they wouldn't lower their own fans' ticket prices when they'd be paying more than the Coventry fans on the day? And it was like, what kind of a fucking point is that to make?
I know.
That's retarded. Like, you can't
Anyway, Coventry fans, enjoy your fucking £7
40
discount voucher, you twat.
enjoy your £45 ticket and make sure you sell out now because you'll be slaughtered for that as well.
Imagine they don't sell out as well. And Leeds sell their additional tickets at that price. You know what I mean? It'd just be fucking.
Which we will.
Yeah, that'll be it. Like,
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a quick poll and put everybody's shit take of the week in there, and we'll have a quick vote, see which wins the shit take of the vote.
All right.
Shit take of the week. So that's now live on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to vote on the shit take of the week. And yeah, we'll decide at the end whoever wins gets a pint bought from this weekend between us. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do that.
Fucking win.
Right then. Next part of the show. It's been that long since I've hosted. What do we do next? Do we look forward to Swansea and
normally we'd have started ages ago with predictions from previous game. Then we'd have all this chat. Then we'd do predictions for next game, wouldn't we? Or we could do next game chat, then predictions.
Next game chat first.
Depends who's hosting and who does it.
Yeah, let's do it my way.
We're fairly loose and free with the old routine now at this stage, lads.
That's it. We just, we can just play it by ear on this podcast.
Yeah, we can wing it.
Everyone else does.
So then, we might as well look to both games. Obviously, the press conference has said that everybody now, apart from the long-term injuries, Stuart Dallas, etc., are back to full fighting strength, which includes Jed Spence, Liam Cooper, Jorginho Ruta, and everybody else, I believe. So yeah, I mean, we've already spoke briefly that we're going to expect a bit of a reaction. Especially being back at Ellen Road under the lights. I know there is going to be a minute's applause before the game for Eltel, and then obviously the 11th minute as well for
Speed
for Gary Speed as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's talk more about what we expect to see then. I mean, in terms of the lineup, Jay, does Archie Gray get a rest for you? Where is he? Do we bring Jed Spence straight in?
Nah. He starts from the bench for me, does Spence. I don't think you just drop him in, especially not when Archie's played as well as he has recently.
I think Archie's earned his place there.
Yeah, he's there on merit.
Yeah.
Do you think that would give Jed Spence a little bit more recovery time, a little bit more time training to maybe start at the weekend and give Archie a break at the weekend then? Or
Possibly.
Do we think Archie's cemented in that place until he does something wrong? Because what do we think?
I don't think cemented. I think it's his to lose, but at the same time, I think if there's call to rest him now. Farke might do because he's got an actual top-level option who's as good or better than Archie Gray in that position. But I don't think you throw him out of the team and just chuck Spence in just because he's fit. Like, cheers, Archie. Sit yourself down now.
I think for me, though, the versatility of having somebody like Archie Gray on the bench, resting, because he can. We know how good he is in central midfield as well. Can come on at right back and do a grand job there.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to rest him and bring Jed Spence in. I would.
Fair enough.
I think. I mean,
I just won't want to see. I won't want to see Spence push too hard too quick and get some kind of muscle strain or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And I think Farke will probably feel the same way. I reckon maybe 10 minutes at the end for Spence. I don't think he'll get more than that. I could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling on it.
Interesting, Carl. What are your thoughts on the Jed Spence? Then he's obviously class, isn't he? He's a class above. We saw him. Was it the Chef Wednesday game? He came on for a brief cameo and did that last ditch tackle, wasn't it? And prevented a shot on target after somebody had lost the ball, sort of midfield. Thoughts?
I kind of agree with what Jay is saying there. I'd maybe go along with the whole, like, we've got Swansea, Middlesbrough at home now. I think go along with the give them 20 minutes at the end, give Archie a rest, maybe move Archie into midfield and take Ampadu out because Ampadu's played a lot of international football, and have Archie and bleeding Kamara in there. And maybe swap it around there, give him 20 minutes, and then gradually bring him back into the fold, and then at least Archie's not getting overplayed, perhaps, and then, you know, we can ease Spence into the role that he was brought in for, because I don't think anyone's going to settle in straight away after being out since. Geez, it says he's out since Sheffield Wednesday, essentially, isn't he? Like, so I think
like 2 months, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think gradually is what's best. Like, I know Rob Price knows what he's doing or whatever, like, but I think Archie, he didn't play every game now with the elite squad when he was away on the international break. So he's kind of rested now for these next 3 games, perhaps, where you slowly phase Spence into the team at right back, and then rotate probably one of the 2 lads every now and again for Archie, and just have them fresh legs. Because I did mention a few weeks ago that I felt we were losing that impetus going forward, where Archie would pick the ball up, and because he's so young and he doesn't have any fear, he's proper going at players. And I think then that naturally puts him in the 10 role when he gets forward far enough and he can pick a pass. But then the options we have off the ball with the runners in between the centre backs and the full backs is absolutely unreal. So so these are options that we can have, but we can also not kind of drop Archie from it completely and phase him not out, but phase him into a scenario where he's one of the most influential players when he does get those 25-30 minutes perhaps in the second half, or start in certain games, you know.
Because we've got 2 games coming up, Carl, would you move Archie into midfield at the expense of Kamara for the next game, or would you just take Archie out and put Spence at right back for Middlesbrough?
Well, no, I'd probably start introducing Spence tomorrow night, if I'm honest. And
no, that's what I mean. But I mean, if you bring Spence on as a sub tomorrow, so he could start against Middlesbrough, presumably.
I wouldn't
you do
start
that?
him again. No, I wouldn't start him against Middlesbrough. No, I'd personally give him 2 30-minute spells, perhaps.
2 what?
And 2 30-minute spells.
You're a good sport, mate.
You're a quick there. I'd probably give him 2 30-minute spells, and then just after that, then I think it's bleeding Blackburn away. Stick him straight in for Blackburn.
Interesting.
That's just the way I do it.
It's a nice headache to have, and it's one we've not had at Leeds for some time, and we're not even mentioning Luke Ayling, you know, who's been a great servant to the club. Like, you know, that's not even bringing him into the mix. So, good.
It almost feels bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does feel a bit. Feels a bit dirty. It feels like you're cheating on him, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it is the way it should be at this point.
It is. Let's move on to the centre backs then. So, assuming Stroik and Rodon start because they're both fit. You've got to start them both at centre back, haven't you? You know, Liam Cooper, unfortunately, great
absolutely.
servant, dropped straight back. Just a quick question: who was at fault predominantly for the goal that Rotherham scored at the weekend? Because everybody's got a different view on this, and there's no right or wrong.
I think about 4 or 5 players.
Yeah,
there was no one person. Like
there were like 3 different things that happened. Like the ball fell a certain way that were quite fortunate. Somebody got a foot to it, which in isolation wasn't a bad thing to do, but it made it fall. Particularly, I wouldn't really have a go at them for that. And then somebody else, I don't know if it was it in the comments on B&C, but somebody was like having to go about Melier is near post. And for me, the way that all happened, it wasn't. You can't really blame him for that. It's not like someone bearing down on goal and he's set the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's a split second thing and he's tried to save it, and it's just one of them for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so yeah, we got Stroik and
collective
Rodon then at centre back. I've just thought, you know, we could line up tomorrow with 3 ex-Swans, three of the best of recent Swansea players playing for us in Pirro, James, and Rodon. So
Rodon,
imagine that's almost like us lining up against Raf, Phillips, and I don't know who else has been pretty good for us and left recently.
Click.
But the rest of them were shit.
Click, yeah. But lining up, imagine being a fan of a football club where you've actually produced those players or found those players and they've been so good for you, and then they're lining up against you. They must be shitting themselves a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would feel a bit like you've gone backwards, wouldn't it, as well, facing like 3 of your ex-players that are on the up with another side.
Yeah. Right, then we've got centre backs. Go on, sorry, Carl.
No,
go on, quick.
Cool. No, it's fine.
Left back then. Is Sam Byram fit? I'm guessing he is.
He must be. He said everyone was fit, didn't
he?
Yeah, apart from the long
Sam Byram's straight in for me if he's fit.
Oh yeah.
Well, same.
He was on the bench the last day and Firpo started.
Yeah, well, I think people have been really harsh on Firpo. I don't think he's done much wrong since he's been playing.
I'm not being harsh on him now by any means. I'm just.
No, I mean, JJ. The first thing Jay said then was he can fuck off. I've been on Joe's channel and Joe absolutely hates Firpo. He's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. He has not excelled and he's not been the left back that we thought we were signing from Barcelona. I'll be blatantly honest. I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. But if you actually watch him on a football field for this season, since he's been back, bearing in mind he had a 6-month layoff. And since he's been back, he hasn't put that much wrong. No, he hasn't done much right either, Chris. No, I'll agree. He hasn't done much right, but he's very much a scapegoat. We tend to have these at Leeds United as fans. There is always 1 or 2 players. If it's not Bill, it's the old guy, it's Cooper, or Click was it for a short time. Bamford, he's often a scapegoat as well. We seem to have these, and it goes in.
Every fan base does.
Yeah, in droves. But actually, if he does play this weekend, or sorry, tomorrow night, just actually watch what he does, because his movement and that is really good and his passing's pretty good. The only thing he can't do is a left back who can't defend.
Yeah.
He always looks dodgy.
I'm not laying into him or having a massive go at him. I just think Byram's better, so I want him there.
No, absolutely. Byram is so difficult to get past, to dribble past. He's solid, isn't he?
And he'll turn up in box and power a header in or get a cross in. If he does everything.
He's got that championship experience as well, which, let's be honest, you can bang on about it going, but it does matter in this league having that experience. It really, really does. Knowing the grind. Like, so we've got two centre backs who know the grind of getting out of that league. Like, even like Rodon's not obviously gone up or anything, but he knows the grind on it. Like, and Stroik's gone up with us, and he knows what it takes to get out. Like, and so is Melier. So, yeah, and then you got Byram. That's a solid back line. And Archie Gray.
So what you're saying is we've got some grizzled championship bastards.
Yeah, but we've got those same grizzled championship bastards with Premier League experience as well.
Yeah.
And
can't go wrong, can you?
Well, that's got to count for something,
Yeah, fair. But Farker did come out and say that he's got 2 very good left backs today, and now I know one of them is Sam Byram. He must have been talking about Firpo, but I'm sure many would disagree. Moving forward, then we know who's going to be in midfield. But yeah, I mean it's going to be probably Ampadu Did
Ampadu and
Ampadu
Kamara.
did he Ampadu play for them, or was it Cardiff? Did he go from?
He was Cardiff, wasn't he?
He started at Exeter and then went somewhere.
Chelsea.
I think it was Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
And
Chelsea
he
all the
was
time.
in
I just assumed.
Chelsea and bouncing around on loan.
Yeah, I don't know
In
if he's
Italy
ever played
twice.
down there. Anyway, Ampadu and Kamara. Then we've got obviously Somerville will play one side because he's the informed man. I assume Pirro and Ruta,
Yeah.
9 and 10. And
Yep,
then
gotta
who
be
plays
on
on
it.
the other wing for you?
Pirro and Ruta, 9-10. So which wing have we already picked?
Doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
Oh, okay.
So you've got the choice of Willie, you've got
Oh.
Anthony, or you've got Dan James.
I feel really bad for saying this, but I'd probably put Anthony and Willie on.
Hang on a minute, you've only got one wing. Yeah?
You said you'd not picked either wing when I asked you just then.
No,
I said it didn't matter which wing, just pick a
Which
winger
wing,
because we've already got
right, okay.
Somerville.
Yeah.
Go on then.
You dropped Somerville. Hang on a minute. Let's just readdress that.
No, that went completely out of my head. I wouldn't drop Somerville at all. No, ignore me. Ignore
His
me on
mouth
that.
started
I'd
talking
have,
before his brain could engage.
Basically, yeah. I'd have Somerville on one side and I'd have Willie on the other, I think. He started to look a little bit like he's interested again as Nonto, and James didn't have a great game. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. I'd like to see Willie probably replace him for this one. Just see what happens. Yeah.
What about for you, Carl?
I think Somerville and Willie. I think Willie has started showing flashes of what he produced last season in spells and whatnot. And I think because we've been so on the front foot in the first half of pretty much every game that we've played this season, we've only seen Willie since he's been back from injury coming on when we've needed to defend, when we've needed to look like we need to hold on to a lead, or we've never been overly creative when Willie has been on. It's and I think if we can give him 45 to maybe obviously 55 minutes, but just give him a chance to play in a side that looks like they're going to play some football. And give him that opportunity, because he hasn't had that proper opportunity to be put on in an attacking kind of force where it's going to pay off since he's come back from injury for me.
Yeah, fair. I'm going to go against the grain here. I don't think Willie's done enough to earn a start yet. And I think Dan James does. And playing against his old club, how lightning strikes and all that sort of stuff.
I think he's earned the rest, though.
Yeah, look, it's open to debate. That's why we're here. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Oh, no, that's it.
Yeah, Dan James had a cracking season so far.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I totally agree with you. I just think we've not seen Willie in an attacking capacity for any length of time that's going to benefit the team, because he's been on the back foot for a defending role essentially most of the time when he's come back from injury. That's all I'm saying. And I think maybe just give him a chance for 55 minutes in a more forward-thinking, attacking-minded team for 45.
I think for me, though, the problem you've got when both Willie and Somerville are on the field at the same time is neither of them like to defend, whereas Dan James doesn't mind getting back.
Yeah, I get that.
Look, they'll do it, but they won't do it every time, and you can see it when you're in the stadium there watching. You can see when they're both playing and they both just stay forward, and like there's just a massive gap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why you both want him to play. But I mean, he's the most exciting player we've got, arguably, isn't he?
It can be.
When it went on his terms, though, isn't it? Yeah,
it can be. Somerville is at the moment. Well, Somerville and Ruta, sorry.
Yeah.
But Willie can be. To have that level of talent in a team, we should be just like running away with shit. We shouldn't be bloody struggling and bloody having to grind against teams like Rotherham and stuff. That's what winds me up, man.
That's the thing
so
as well.
much
Like,
talent.
Sorry.
Go
on. Yeah, I think like sometimes players just hit a patch of form where, like Dan James, 3 games previous, he'd have put that ball in the back of the net. That chance he got,
Yeah.
He had no. He would have even picked out a pass, which I think was probably the better option of the two.
Mm.
So, like some players hit some kind of patch of form where their decision making isn't great, or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying Dan James has hit that patch, but I'm just saying maybe take him out a bit and just throw Willie in and just see what happens. Like, just go for it. Fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
why not?
Sling your Willie about and see what happens.
Get your Willie out on the
It's
wing.
not that kind of show.
On the wing. Cool. Yeah, I think it's sorry, Andy. Very quickly, tomorrow's game is on the red button. So we don't need visual radio. I'm sure it might be on some visual radio somewhere, but it is on the Sky Red button tomorrow. Yeah, before we do go into the predictions, I just want to fly. We've got loads of starred comments, so I just want to fly through a quick few of them before we go on to predictions. Karl, you've got a pen in your hand? You all right to take the predictions when we come on to it?
Yeah, man.
Cool. First up, Kev. I'm a sucker for a nice Real Madrid shirt, especially with the Leeds link. Nice shirt, Luke. I've got a couple in my collection. Yeah, lovely belting shirt. I've got jumped on the Bellingham hype, so I've got Bellingham on the back as well. Kev Marston, at the current rate, we're on course for 86 points now. That's not probably going to be enough to be automatically promoted. So probably sort of reinforces what you said, Jay, earlier, doesn't it? Really, if we continue the way we are, we're not going to. It's playoffs at best.
Correct. You'd like to think that we'll fare a little better than we have at times now that we're more of a settled side. But yeah, like I said, I'll stamp shit out. Can't throw.
If we win tomorrow, we're back on average 2 points a game, which will bring us on to 91, 92 points, which is promotion points. So
what if we lose? Will there be a panic and a meltdown?
It'd be 90 points at 2 points a game, won't it? You play 45 games.
Yeah, average. Like, so you're not.
Oh no, you play 46 games. Sorry, so it'd be 92.
46, you play 46.
Why would you play 45? That's an odd number. Yeah, 92. Yeah.
So if we win tomorrow night, we're back on for that kind of.
Did anybody see the graphic the other day? Did we talk about it last week? The sort of
the one Gilly put it.
Underperforming.
Was it you that put it in the WhatsApp? Like
it might have been. I think you
were Gilly, I think, wasn't it?
Basically, the teams that are overperforming and underperforming, basically Leicester and Ipswich, have well overperformed to this stage to where they expected, and we're actually on par. So had they not had such a mental start to the season, we'd probably be in the top two already. But anyway, that doesn't matter. We're not. So, Paul Brennan, we should still aim for top two, but it would be nice to get second. Does he mean first?
I think he means don't rule out trying to get first. Don't rule out trying to get first, but it'd be nice if we get second still. I think that's what he means.
Okay.
Paul Brennan again. It is a hard slog in the Championship. We get strange results. We have a first-class manager in Farker who knows what he's doing. Look, I don't think we can disagree on that. And look, whilst people can change their opinions based on one anomaly and one result, then I'm sure I expect the same people to when and we do have a good result to change their mind again.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Kev Marson, we're on for 86, even after that first month. Last season, second place with 91. If we keep our form, we will hit that. Love the positivity. Michael Brown, is this still the West Brom squad? Does anybody know? Are they still beating Cardiff at Cardiff?
It was a minute ago.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's 1-0.
Puts them above us on goal difference, but with us a game in hand. So look, don't worry about whether they were third or fourth. We're chasing that top two for me.
Hull smashing Rotherham 4-1.
4-1, nice.
Liam,
I was on Max's channel. It was released earlier today. I picked my all-time Leeds 11. Not my all-time, my favourite Leeds 11 that I've seen. Obviously, no players from the 60s there because I am only 22. But yeah, go watch it. I was going to actually tell you my team then, but no, actually go watch Max's video because he spends a lot of time creating them, and it's definitely worth a watch. That's Max at Leeds lately. Paul again. Loads of star messages from you tonight, Paul. I would play Joe Perot up front in the 9. This is something we've discussed before with Jorginho behind, but Pirot. But unfortunately, Daniel Farke won't do that. Now, Daniel Farke did that 10-minute interview as to why he doesn't do that, didn't he? And at the time, it all made sense because Pirot was scoring a lot of goals. Now they seem to have dried up a little bit.
Scored last time we played at home.
He did score, and he is still scoring at a decent rate for this league. He's still on course to hit 20, 25 goals, I think, this season if he continues at the continued rate. So, whilst I agree that I would like to see Pirot with Jorginho in behind, whilst this is still working in a fashion, I don't think we will see any change.
No, and that 15-minute answer means that he can't really change it now. He has to stick with it.
Paul Brennan's Top Bananas replied to Paul and said they do that during games. And I just wanted to make a point on this. The games where and I make it all the time, the games where we struggle is when those two are further apart and don't interchange, where we're forced back, where there's 2 banks of 4 and they literally just defend. Pirot has to drop short to try and do something with the ball, which means he's not in the same position where he's arriving late and scoring goals ultimately. Paul Brennan again would like to see Matteo Joseph on the subs bench and get a go, especially with 2 games at Ellen Road. He would love it if he's scoring goals. He would love it. He's scoring goals for fun in the academy. What do we make of that, gents?
Yeah, we've mentioned him a few times, haven't we, Carl?
Yeah, I was only talking about him there on Saturday morning, I think. Just saying he deserves a shot. Oh, no, it was on with the boys at Not Another Leeds podcast.
That's right.
And I'd love to see him get a shot. Like he's absolutely banging in the goals. He's scoring for England. I don't see why he's not worth a shot.
Would you not be better off putting a player like that whose confidence is sky in the team than Patrick Bamford, whose confidence on the floor? Do you know what I mean? I don't.
No, that's when his confidence would get even lower. You don't know.
No, I'm saying Josephine instead of Bamford.
Yeah, no, that's when you don't do that. Like Bamford's confidence is already low.
No, but he's a write-off. Get rid of him.
He's not a write-off.
We need to look at the future. Joseph's a prospect who should be getting some game time.
Yeah, Jay loves.
I'd rather.
What did I say about Jay earlier? What was the first thing he said about Firpo and Bamford now?
Oh man, he was a Cooper hating bastard a couple of seasons ago.
Was. I'd hate to sit him around him in the cheese wedge because I'd chin him. I think
he goes on about this old dude that sits behind him, and I bet you there's someone in front of Jay going, "This fucking moaning prick."
Oh, probably, yeah, probably. I'd expect nothing less. No, I don't. When you've got a guy who can't do anything right, and every time he gets involved in a key moment, it seems to cost us at the moment. When you need somebody else, I'd be putting Joseph in rather than Bamford. I'd give him just a break away from it all.
I think that only happens if Bamford gets another injury.
Probably, but it's what
message does that send to Patrick Bamford? Firstly, if he plays a youth player over him, look. If he's better than him, and Farke would know if he's better than Bamford, they sees him every day in training. Then yeah, on merit, absolutely. But don't just give somebody a go because we think it's a good idea. Do you know what I mean?
No, he has to earn it. He has to be because he's good enough.
There's a lot to be said about Patrick Bamford and what he actually does bring to the team, and he still does bring. I said this the other day when he came on. He made more chances, albeit spooned them and was fucking all over the shop. But he actually got into better positions than Rutter had for 70 minutes when he came on for the last 20. He got his foot in the wrong place with the disallowed goal and whatever else. But he was there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You can't discredit the effort he puts in.
No, absolutely. I just want to address this one really, Chris. What we're saying is that actually when they do what you're saying, that's when we have a lot of success. That didn't happen much against Sheff Wednesday, against Rotherham, against who else did we struggle with? Saints even. Stoke, and when we're forced to play in their half with when they have men behind the ball, that's when we struggle because Georgie doesn't drop deep. Pirot has to drop deep, and Pirot can't get in front of him. Can't get behind him, and that's when we do struggle. Sorry, I wasn't saying that he doesn't do it at all. If that's what you thought, I don't know.
Mm.
Any more starred? No, that's it for now. So right, we'll go on to
Orta Know Better predictions.
first one in the comments from the fans for Swansea from now, please.
Dusting that one off there, aren't you?
Jay, we'll take yours since you're bottom of the league. Let's go. Let you go first. But what's the Swansea score going to be?
It's supposed to be the person who's top goes first, but I'll go 3-1.
Go on then, Karl.
Leeds.
What did you say? 3-1 Leeds.
Yeah.
3-1, yeah.
3-1. 3-1.
It looks like Jammy's gone for the same from the fans. 3-1 Leeds.
Oh,
He's
he's cursed me.
Karl, do you want to go? Or would you like me to go first since it's my birthday?
You go first, man.
Okay, I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
See, I was going to go 2-0 Leeds as well.
Do what you like, Karl.
I'm going to be
It's only a
bold
game
here
show.
now and go for. I'm going to be bold here now and go 4-2.
Woohoo! 4-2!
What the fuck?
Wicked. And then we might as well do Middlesbrough. So first one in the comments from now. So don't ignore everything that's gone on before. And we'll go back the other way this time, Karl. So you can go first for the Middlesbrough game.
2-0.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
I'm going to go 3-2 because they're scoring a lot.
3-2 Leeds, yeah.
With
Yeah.
Sam Greenwood playing, but he can't play.
Well, the 3 up tonight, and he's only just come on in like
Oh,
70th minute or something. Yeah, they
Yeah,
scored 3 goals by 37 minutes tonight.
Who are they playing again?
Preston.
Jesus,
yeah,
that's
it's
all right as well.
Yeah, exactly. They're no mugs, Borough.
Russ Vernon from the fans, 3-0 on Saturday.
Fans, 3-0.
On Dodger.
And sorry, Jay, what did you say, boss?
3-2.
All Leeds.
All Leeds, aren't we?
Andy all
So
off.
now I've just had a bit of a thought,
Go on.
and this could be dangerous, but with this shit take of the week,
Mm-hmm.
are we outdoing ourselves? Does this mean that we're no longer going to have anything for Orta Know Better?
Well, there could be like a shit take of the week is a shit take of the week. A bitter is a pure rant. Like,
Yeah, if you're angry about something, that's that's.
Are
not really
either
a
of you
shit
angry
take,
about
is it?
anything this week?
Not particularly.
Anything? It could be related to your chickens or anything. Like I'm not particular. It doesn't have to be football related. Do you want to get anything off your chest, lads? Like that you really want to tell everybody and just feel a bit better about?
Not for me, no.
Karl, come on, you must.
Nothing's really pissing me
Karl,
off.
how about instead of an Orta Know Better, you tell us a very quick joke, seeing as though your stand up is taking off. How would you feel about that? Have you got a minute to tell a quick joke? Have you got a quick one?
No, it's more storytelling than joke telling.
No.
So-
Have you got a joke?
I could, yeah, okay, yeah, well, sure. A man walks into a pub with a piece of rolled up tarmac under his arm, and he goes up to the barman and he asks him for a pint, and he says, "I'll have one for the road."
Fucking hellfire.
Jesus Christ, that was that was Karl. That was the end of Karl's stand-up career.
Karl, have you got a side job like writing jokes for Christmas crackers?
No,
That was fucking terrible.
Good, dude. That's not a bad job, I'd imagine. Tell shit jokes in a Christmas cracker and people buy them. Fine.
Every year.
Yeah. Every year.
Oh dear me. Right then. So you might have noticed at the very start of the show, I didn't mention much about Gary Speed, and that's simply just to tie in with our end bit tonight, and the end bit that we do most nights really is around mental health and men's mental health. So yeah, sadly, 11 years ago yesterday, we lost Gary Speed, and I don't know about you guys, but I still watch that interview with Bryn Law outside Ellen Road, where he says the call never came, and he just breaks down, and it still makes me cry to this day. Like just every time I say it, it just like
It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Absolutely heartbreaking. Best mates they were, and I'd only texted him a few hours early saying, was it first snow has fallen on in West Yorkshire? He was on about Bryn's hair, and then obviously didn't get a call back or whatever. But yeah, with that in mind, Jay, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a up-to-date graphic for this, but I'll just throw this one up anyway because it gives you an example of what they do. But as we always mention on this pod at the end, if you're in a tough spot, if you're struggling, if you just need to talk to someone, stop that, Karl. This is a serious bit. There's Andy's Man Club, and they're here to help. There's people that'll listen to you, and other guys that just want to chill out sometimes, just want to get out of the house, just change of environment, not stuck in the same four walls. No shame. People want and just be in an environment with other people. But these are the kinds of things they do. We're waiting for an updated graphic for December. But this month alone, they've done like the barber club where you can go get a haircut, have a chat. Any sort of money raised goes to Andy's Man Club. Pool snooker night at Northern Snooker. Few games of pool, and then they've got the walk and talk at they had it at Roundy Park this time. I said Roundy, then I said it proper. Roundy Park, and yeah, there'll be more stuff like that coming up. And as it says at the bottom there, all open to friends, partners, everybody. So if your mate's having a tough time, get down to a meeting with him and chill out with some other guys, and just see that it's not just you, and it's okay to not be okay.
It's that time of year as well. I think a lot of people do tend to struggle, financially, loneliness and stuff as well. So do check in on your mates and family members as well. Do it, because it doesn't take much just to text your one of your mates that's been a bit quiet and just ask if they fancy going for a pint or a coffee or a cuppa or something. It's not a lot. You don't have to put yourself out. So think that's pretty much about. Oh, really quickly, we've still got the Joel Pirot competition running until he gets 10 league goals. He could hit that this weekend. Who knows? By this weekend, he's got 2 games.
Anything could happen.
I think he's got 6, so he only needs another 4. So get on the Twitter. I think it's our pinned tweet. Get that retweeted. Comment done. Make sure you're a subscriber and do follow us if you don't already. Anything else, lads?
Nothing from here.
Looking forward to tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't wait to be there.
I'll be there Saturday. I won't be there tomorrow, unfortunately. But I'll be joining you all Saturday. So if anybody does see me and does want to buy me a birthday beer, I drink anything. But yeah, we'll end it with rest in peace, Gary Speed. Go on, Gary Speed. Get one yourself, son.